Hey everyone, welcome to another FM synthesis custom patch tutorial. In this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you some basics. I'm going to show you how to program MadFame saw, MadFame square, but I'm going to take it one step further and show you how to make a dual saw and dual square version of those patches. On top of that, I'll show you some really quick techniques for incorporating a filter control and a chorus effect, which you've probably seen in other videos of mine, but I'll go into a little more detail about that. And I'll show you how to do this exact same thing on the Dx21. So if you've got a Dx21, this was a really good episode for you. Now, when it comes to the dual waveform aspect of this patch, this will not be possible on a Dx100, Dx27, or a Dx9. And the reason for that is in the 4-operator FM synth version, it does require the ability to play two patches at once. So on the Dx21, we have the dual and split capability. This is essential for incorporating the dual aspect, but also the chorusing aspect. So if you want to skip ahead to the 4-operator tutorial, there is a link in the description below. You can click the timestamp and check out the tutorial there. First thing we do, as always, is we initialize a patch. This one uses algorithm 2. Starting with the output levels, operator 1 is 99, operator 2 is 75, operator 2 has the feedback loop, which goes to 7. So that's our first saw wave. Algorithm 2 has two halves. We've got the left-hand side and the right-hand side. The left-hand side now has a saw wave, which is made of operator 2 and operator 1. The right-hand side has operators 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we'll be producing an approximate saw wave on this side as well. So going back to output level, operator 3, the carrier, full volume, output level 99. Operator 4 is our first modulator, which will have an output level of 70. Operator 5 will have an output level of 60. And operator 6 is not used, so we can switch that off. So on this side, we have an approximate waveform, sawtooth waveform. It doesn't have the brightness of the saw wave on the left-hand side because we're lacking the feedback. But when we combine the two, we have a nice saw wave, a combined saw wave. So what's the point of having two independent saw waves? Well, one, it fills out the sound a little bit. It gives it a bit more body because the left-hand side saw wave on its own is a little bit thin. So this is something that we can do to beef it up. The other thing is that now that we have two independent waveforms, we can affect one against the other. So going to operator 2, which is our left-hand side modulator, if we go to fine frequency and increase that by 0.01, we now have this really subtle chorusing effect. And you can hear it when I switch it on. So that is a really, really simple way of creating a pseudo chorus effect. It's not a true chorus, but it's something that we can use just to impart that effect. You've got two options basically. You can do this on the left-hand side saw wave or the right-hand side saw wave. The right-hand side means you have to apply this fine frequency effect to operator 4 and operator 5. So it's actually more efficient to just do it on the left-hand side with operator 2. The other thing too is that operator 1 and 2 produce a brighter sawtooth waveform, so you can hear the effect clearer. So now that we've incorporated this chorusing effect, we can actually control the speed of it simply by using the detune on that modulator. So operator 2, and I can increase and decrease it using the detune function. So again, really simple techniques that add a lot more functionality and allow you to program more character into your patches just by doing these really simple things. Second thing we can do, which I've shown many times, is to use the modulation wheel for a filter control. Now again, it's a pseudo filter, but has the same effect. So go to operator 2, select mod sensitivity amplitude, increase the sensitivity to 3, and do the same thing to the other operators on the other side, so operator 4 and operator 5. Now go to function, mod wheel range, bump that up to 99, and turn the EG bias on. Now your mod wheel will act as a filter. And finally, what we can do is we can turn this whole patch into a square wave patch, a dual square. And how we do that is we go to our modulators again and go to coarse frequency, and we simply increase that so it's double the carrier frequency. So both my carriers, operator 1 and operator 3, have a coarse frequency of 1. So all of my modulators should have a coarse frequency of 2. And there we have dual square. So again, really simple techniques that add a lot more functionality and allow you to program more character into your patches just by doing these really simple things. Okay, so for all of my 4-operator FM synth users, I will show you how to create a basic sawtooth and square waveform. However, if you don't have the AB capability, then doing the detune effect will be difficult because we cannot produce a second saw or square waveform just using 4 operators, unfortunately. Okay, so the first thing we do as always is we initialize voice. This one uses algorithm 6, and algorithm 6 has operators 1, 2, 3 as carriers, and operator 4 is the modulator. So we're not using operators 2 and 3, so let's switch those off. Go to operator output level. Operator 1 is 99, operator 4 is 70, and operator 4 has the feedback loop, so that goes all the way up to 7. And that there is our sawtooth. So if you've got a DX100 or a Dx27, then this here is your sawtooth waveform. So you can stop at this point, save this patch. The next thing you can do is you can go to frequency, operator 1, we drop the frequency down to 0.5, and there is our square wave. So you can save this patch as your square wave. Okay, so going back to the saw, where the ratio is 1:1, what we could do on the Dx21 is we could save this in, let's say, any of these patches up here in A, and then we can save a second version in B. Now what we do to the second version is that we go to detune, and we can either drop the detune down by -3 or +3. So what will happen is that that detuning on the B version will now chorus against the tuning in the A version when we use dual playback. And this is what it sounds like. So it's really quite nice. I can go into here and increase that even further. And we can do the same thing with the square wave. So save the standard version in the A bank and save the detune version in the B bank, and you'll get this. So it's a really nice spread that you get there. Of course, again, our polyphony is reduced, but the quality in the sound is much, much better than what you get using the built-in chorus. Now, we can also use the filter effect that I showed you on the Dx7, and to do that, we go into Edit, go over to Modulation Sensitivity, Amplitude, make sure that is all the way up to 3, and you need to select which operator is being affected. So up here you've got 4 digits, and they're all zeros. 0 means off, and 1 means on. And those 4 digits correspond to operator 1, operator 2, operator 3, and operator 4. So I want the modulator, which is operator 4, to be on. So you're going to press this button here, 4, and make sure that digit changes to 1, which means that 4 is now active. The LFO is on by default, so we need to turn the LFO speed down to 0, because when we use the modulation wheel for the filter effect, it's actually going to engage the LFO. So we just need to turn the speed down to 0. And then we go to Function, select Wheel Range, select Amplitude, and make sure that is all the way up to 99. and that'll give our wheel range a full range of filter control from the very lowest position to the very highest position. Now, if you apply this filter effect to both patches, the A and the B versions, you will get a really nice, really nice sound. And the same for the sawtooth. So that there is a really simple way of producing complex waveforms like we would find on a subtractive synth on your 4-operator DX synth, and also applying the filter effect and using the A and B functions to get a really nice chorusing effect as well. I actually elaborate more on 4-operator techniques for filtering sounds on my next episode of FM Synthesis Explained, which will be out any day now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that really basic tutorial. Again, experiment with the other edit functions. I'll be going through them as I can. It takes a really long time to not only script some of these videos and produce the examples, but also to edit them. And I'm trying to cover as many topics as I can that are universal, so I can do one video that helps all FM users and not just people using the Dx7 or the Dx21, for example. So thanks for watching. Again, if you want to support the channel, check out my Patreon page. Please consider becoming a patron and make sure you subscribe so you know when new videos are coming out. I have a few other videos in the works, which are taking me forever, but I will get those out to you as soon as I can, hopefully in the next week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.